Simple past, we are gonna use the auxiliary did for all the persons. So we are gonna use for I, we, you, they, and he, she, it, the auxiliary did. For affirmative questions, we are gonna use the past of the regular and irregular verbs. For example, they ate yesterday, he studied last week. For negative questions, we are gonna say, I didn't go with you. And for questions, we are gonna say, did he dance with you? No, he didn't. Or, yes, he did. So remember, you have to memorize your regular and irregular verbs. The regular verbs are gonna end in ed, and the irregular verbs are gonna change at all. You have to memorize them. For past continuous, we are gonna use the past of the verb to be, that is was and were. And we are gonna use a verb ending in ing. And also we are gonna use the word while, that means mientras, and the word when, that means cuando. So for the person I, he, she, and it, we are gonna use was. And for we, you, and they, we are gonna use were. And the examples are, he wasn't playing while I was working. We weren't studying when our teacher called. We are gonna use when another action finished. And we are gonna use while when the other action is happening or was happening, like the first one. Now, to make a question, we are gonna use the verb to be like an auxiliary, and we are gonna say, were they watching a movie while you were cooking? The answer, no, they weren't. Yes, they were. Was you sleeping when the phone rang? No, I wasn't. Yes, I was. Look how we are gonna use the verb to be in past for this person, were they? The verb plus ing, watching. And when we use while, the other action, continue. When we use the word when, the other action, finished. Was you sleeping when the phone rang? No, I wasn't. Yes, I was. Conditional 2 again. We are gonna use the word if, then a sentence in simple past, and then the word would, that is an auxiliary, and a verb in infinitive. If I had a cat, I would love it. If you studied by yourself, I would be happy. Simple past, good, infinitive. Simple past, would, infinitive. Conditional 2. Last conditional, conditional 3. We are gonna use sentences in past perfect, and then we are gonna use this modal would plus have, would have, plus the past participle. Remember, how do you use past perfect? All the verbs are gonna be in past participle. So remember, the past perfect is had, this auxiliary, had. And all the verbs are gonna be in the third form, past participle. For example, eat, ate, eaten. We are gonna use eaten. So the example says, if I had called you, past participle. If I had called you, you wouldn't have gotten mad at me. Si te hubiera llamado, no te hubieras molestado conmigo. If it hadn't rained, I would have washed the clothes. Si no hubiera llovido, hubiera lavado la ropa. Así que recuerden, pasado perfecto, had, would have y pasado participio. Obviamente podemos hacer contracción, would have. You, apóstrofe de, you'd have. You would have. Y si no, así, completito. Vean cómo se ve bonito. If it hadn't rained, I would have washed the clothes. If my son hadn't been singing, I wouldn't have spoken aloud.